Hype Moon presents. The tip of the sword is like a flash of lightning. Or was like a flash of lightning. A spearhead thrust to skewer the heart. Even attempting to evade it was pointless. It was but a flash, too swift for the human eye to follow. And yet, moonlight swept in to save me. From the strike that threatened to end me. The sound was beautiful. Like the tolling of a bell. I'm raising up my microphone. Haha. No. Truth be told, the sound hung over me, heavier than an iron weight. Its beauty had a little to do with aesthetics. The stark armor wrapped about her was like a frozen night itself. The ringing was not in itself pleasant. The sound of steel. But the night herself was beautiful enough to make it into the chiming of a bell. Blah. Gonna fix the thing here. As soon as I do, it's gonna go down. There we go. If I need to turn anything up, let me know as well. We're gonna go back. It does that thing where when you click off, it's like lowers the entire game. So maybe there's a setting we can turn off for that. Her voice resonated in the darkness. Indeed, the pact was sealed. Just as she chose to serve me. I'm sure in that moment that I swore to save her. The moonlight cut through the darkness. As if in imitation of the night, the storehouse regained its former calm. Time had stopped. The vision before me had lasted less than a second. Be that as it may, I will always remember the sight of her, as clearly as if it was happening still now, even if I fall into the depths of hell. The faint slant of her profile, her serene, divinely green eyes. For a moment, time stopped, and her silhouette, draped in blue, swayed in the wind. I was struck by the pale blue glow. Her hair, as fine as a golden thread, was bathed in moonlight. But for enough about that, let's go back in time. Fate. This happened 10 years ago. I see someone who takes me back. He's tall with chiseled features. I've never known him to crack a joke. He ruffles my hair affectionately. No, that's not what this is. It's more like he's grasping my head and working it like a stubborn jar lid. Maybe he doesn't know how to control his strength. That's only to be expected. This is the first time he's ever done something like this. It's time for me to leave. You know what to do next. I forgot that I should be Ren now. Hold on. I answered yes in a somber voice. He nodded once, withdrew his hand, and stood up. That's all. Had I known this would be the last time we would ever see each other, I would have done my best to make him laugh with a perfect joke. I've been practicing punchlines in private in hopes of finally seeing a smile crack that stony face. If I have one regret, it's that I never got to tell him any of my jokes. Get the association in your debt before you become an adult. Any decisions after that, I leave up to you. I'm sure you'll manage on your own. So he said, but I bet he was worried about me. He told me about our family's heirloom jewels, the gems passed down to us from our grandmaster, and how to manage the underground workshop. It was a rapid-fire course of subjects he'd never taught me before. Even as a child, I realized that he would probably never come home again. There was a war. Not a war between countries, but between people. But in this war, there are only 7 combatants. It might not have seemed fitting to call it a war, but having mages involved in changes things. 7 mages from different factions competed, but I wasn't sure why. They killed each other using methods I don't really understand. One of them was a man right in front of me. It meant that he would kill and eventually be killed. I'm sure he felt the ticking of his lone life's clock even more keenly than I did. Rin. Before long, the Holy Grail will appear. It is the duty of the Tosakas to obtain it. But above all, it is a path we are destined to walk as mages. And with that, he ruffled my hair one last time and left. I never saw him again. My father/teacher was one of the masters who participated in the Holy Grail War. He never came home. Safe travels, Father. I bid him farewell, as a well-behaved daughter should. I knew I was on the verge of tears, but I didn't let them show. I loved him. He was a great father and an even greater mage. Mages are stubborn people. As far as I knew, there wasn't a more upstanding man in the whole world. As my instructor, he trained me. As my father, he loved me. So I decided I'd accept the things he left for me and choose my own path. Rin. Before long, the Holy Grail will appear. It is the duty of the Tosakas to attain it, but above all, it is a path where we are destined to walk as mages. In the end, his final words for me were given as a mage, not a father. That's the moment I made up my mind. Alright, I guess I'll better do everything I can to become a worthy mage. It's only natural for an apprentice to live up to their master's hopes. That's how I, Rin Tosaka, grew up after experiencing life's twists and turns. It's been 10 years since my father went off to war. I wouldn't say I've been looking forward to this day, but I am a bit on edge. That goes without saying, after all. That moment, which was burned into my memory 10 years ago, will soon be upon me again. Honestly, that should have been a screenshot right there, but I didn't get it in time. I didn't remember that we started with Reem, but I do think that we start like with the entirety of the thing, which is crazy. I hear something. Renji. Do you guys want me to read the parts where they speak, or do you guys want me to not read the part where they speak? This is a great place to hold off and ask that question while the ringing is happening. I bet you love it. Let me take a drink. The faster you answer, the faster this ringing goes away. Don't read, rest your voice? Okay. We will let the Japanese VAs do their job. The noise doesn't stop. It's such an infernal racket. It's almost as if they're here to avenge my father. Volume mix voices. What does that mean? Oh, is it louder on the voices than the BGM? That's crazy. Ooh. Again, I have it right now to where where the ringing is the thing that's mostly in there. Let's turn up the voices. Leave the sound effects where they are. System sounds pretty low. BGM will also turn up because I like it. Lower BGM while voices play. No, thank you. Maybe we'll turn that on later. Stop voices and text advances. No, thank you. Match autoplay speed. Wait for auto. Ooh, we can get rid of certain voices. This is probably Shiro. I can probably just turn off Shiro and just be Shiro. Though the last time I was Shiro, people hated me, so I don't know. Oh, it won't let me test it. Ringing isn't that bad? Yeah, it's not that bad. Z is confirmed. Nice. I love all the different things you can do. I like that there's an autosave. Very good. I was trying to see if there was like a controller thing here, but there isn't. Nice. Haha. I wish it'd just let me sleep a bit more. In fact, it should. I stayed up into the early hours deciphering my father's will, and I used a hell of a lot of magic energy to do it. I'm totally exhausted, body and mind. Is that loud enough? Is the audio loud enough for you guys for the voices? Ren Ren, GG, Ren G, ring ring. The alarm clock is deaf to my complaints. What kind of machine makes a noise that seems like its sole purpose is to remind you that you're late? Her voice is pretty quiet. I turn up for now. Okay, it did save it. True. There's a time and a place for everything. So says that weird voice that goes into my head every time I try to ride my bike indoors. No matter how much of an overachiever I am, I should try to make it to school on time at least for today, if only slightly.
そうそう。あらかじめ30分ずらして目覚ましをセットしておいたから。
I love Rin.
30分は眠れるはず。
Doesn't that sound off?
30分ずらして
I peer at the alarm clock through sleep-heavy eyelids. The hands point to 7 o'clock on the dot. I usually get up at 6:30, which means I've completely used up my safety margin. Speaking of which, why is my brain so slow in the morning? I glare at the alarm clock for several seconds. I shut off the alarm and climb sluggishly out of bed. The morning chill bites at me as I cross the hallway to enter the parlor. This is the final 7 a.m. in January. Winters in Fuyuki are relatively warm, but the mornings here are cold as anywhere. Even at home, my breath missed white. It's that much colder without anyone else living here. So now that we hear them talking regularly, do we want to turn them up, turn them down? I turn on the heater and go wash up. Single living is so inconvenient at times like these. If there was someone else here to wake up before me, then the parlor would already be heated. Seems good? All right. I wash my face at the sink. Why would you do that? I run a brush through my long hair and get dressed. A chilly morning in a frigid bathroom. The only thing to be said for it is that the cold weather mercilessly beats the sleepiness from me. The final tug on the ribbon at my collar, I finish getting dressed. All that's left to do is have breakfast and go to school. The clock reads just past 7, so my morning rush feels a bit anticlimactic.
なんだ、これなら走っていく必要もないか。
Of course, I'd never do anything so uncouth as sprinting to school. The Tosaka family motto dictates that we should conduct ourselves with confidence and elegance at all times. My ancestors must have been some high and mighty aristocrats if that's what we've been taught through the generations. The anachronistic mansion... Anachronistic? Yep. Anachronistic mansion I live in is proof enough of that. Plus, the Tosakas are a line of spellweavers who practice what's known as magecraft. We're not just an old family. We have an admirably storied history.
まあ自慢できることでもないんだけど。
In fact, I literally can't talk about it. The truth is, I'm a mage! Truth is, I'm a mage. Who could I even brag about that to? As the name suggests, magecraft is what most normal people would see as magic. Sounds like some supernatural woo-woo. And if you'd like to think of it as just wiggling your fingers and saying abracadabra, that's fine too. Just think of us as people who chant weird words and make equally weird stuff happen. That said, we don't fly around on broomsticks. We don't shoot stars out of wands either. We can do things like that, but there's no point, so we don't. We're pretty much heretics who lurk in the shadows of society. We're not allowed to draw attention to ourselves, and anyone who has the time for that kind of thing would rather spend it on research. Ordinary humans might call us magicians, but that would be wrong. In fact, there's only 5 magicians in the whole world. Magicians are what we call people who can do something no one else can. They can accomplish feats beyond the means of modern science and perform genuine miracles. Similarly, magic is what we label for use, is the label we use for mystics, magical mysteries that can't be realized without any amount of time or skill. or that can't be realized with any amount of time or skill. While magecraft, though it looks mysterious, is something anyone can do with enough time and resources. I'm a mage, and the kind of mystics I use are merely magecraft, not true magic. Confusing, I know, but that's how it works. Also, modern civilization doesn't accept the existence of mages. We believe in, manipulate, and study things that can't be measured, which puts us at odds with modern society. Above all, there's no point to any of what we do. You'd be so much happier just going off to a normal school and becoming a normal adult than you would studying magecraft. Human technology has accomplished great things, like anime and body pillows. For the last few centuries, magecraft has been playing catch-up to the progress of civilization. Nothing is impossible for humanity anymore. Miracles that could only be realized with magecraft in the distant past have been reduced to common tools and appliances. Even so, magecraft does have its benefits. Just as there are some things only science can accomplish, there remains heights only mystics can reach. If science is racing to the future, the mages are racing into the past. I think the Tosaka Grandmaster said that. Whether you're heading into the past or the future, your destination is the same. 0. Or something like that. We can shelve the difficult topics for now. Philosophy is for the elderly. I finish my breakfast and pick up my bag. Gotta bring that pendant. Never know. I'm reluctant to take something so valuable to school, but it would be a waste to leave it behind. I think I have that. I think I have that now. I have a version of that somewhere. It's probably in my Christmas supplies. One could even say it's on an entirely different level. I obtained the gem after decoding my father's will last night. It's imbued with 10 years worth of my own magic energy. I've been told that the Tosaka family has heirloom jewels passed down since the olden days, and this might be one of them. I'm actually going to turn down the music a bit. It's a little loud in my ears. Hopefully that isn't bad for you guys. Bring it down to 40 with the sound effects. Hopefully you guys don't hate me for doing that. If you do, sucks. Tosaka mages specialize in the conversion of the flow of power. We channel our magic energy into precious gems whenever we have a spare moment. Simply put, I'm the gun and the jewels are the bullets. The other main thing I've inherited from my father is the magic crest engraved into my left arm. My sick tats. The magic crest is proof that I'm the heir of our lineage. It's like all the techniques of the Tosaka condensed into a tattoo. Yeah. For now, I stow my pendant, my father's keepsake, in a pocket. It's 7:30. I better leave soon if I don't want to be late for school. I weave energy into a brief foreign phrase. As a mage, I can't neglect the security of my own home base. That still applies even if I've never had so much as a single burglar, lost child, or stray cat wander into my home. Actually, I don't think the neighbors have ever even come over to say hello. Yeah, wow, I get stray cats! What the fuck? I look up at the mansion that's been my home for over a decade. Fuyuki is a strange city. One side of the intersection, dividing the residential areas, is filled with old samurai estates, while the other side I'm on have an abundance of mansions built in the European style. Apparently a whole bunch of foreign families immigrated here long ago, but I've never seen a single foreigner around. There's even a cemetery for foreigners in Shinto, the new part of the city, across the river. But it was built for the generation that immigrated here.
日本の土が合わなかったのかな。
I make a mental note to ask the priest about it next time I visit the church. He's nothing if not full of boring trivia, that's for sure. Dumb, stupid priest. Dumb priest guy. Dumb, big dumb butt. Oh? Something feels off as soon as I step outside.
なんだろう、思ったより静かなんですけど。
There's no trace of the typical morning bustle. At 7:30 in the morning, there would normally be students and workers on their daily commute.
まあ、こういう日もあるか。
Maybe everyone slept in. It's unusually cold today, so everyone must be snuggled up in bed.
けどさすがに。
Even if that were true, it's strange there isn't a single student on the street. At this time of day, you'd expect at least a school uniform or two. And yet, from where I'm standing at the school gate, it looks like the morning club activities are just starting up. Which can only mean...
あれ、遠坂？今朝は一段と早いのね。
やっぱりそうきたか。
With a light sigh, I turned to face the student who called out to me.
おはよう。今日も寒いね、こりゃ。
The girl who addresses me so casually is Ayako Mitsuzuri. She's my classmate in 2A, and she has quite the history.
おはよう、三辻さん。つかぬことを聞くけど、今何時だかわかる？
ん？何時って、7時前じゃない。遠坂寝ぼけてる？
Her clock was wrong. She waves her hand in front of my face as if to ask if anyone's home. Ayako is one of my few friends, and she knows I'm not a morning person. She's probably figured out by now that I'm still not completely with it.
うちの時計1時間早かったみたい。しかも軒並み。目覚まし時計はおろか、柱時計まできっかり早まってた。
What's going on here? Father must have set the clocks to go haywire once I took the pendant out of the underground cellar.
遠坂。
For some fucking reason.
気にしないで。別に大したことじゃないから。それより、三辻さんは今日も朝練？
ええ。弓道部は問題児も多いし、うまいのが一人減ったからね。4月の新入生獲得のために、少しぐらいは見栄えを良くしとかないと。
そう。気苦労が絶えないのね。
Sounds rough, sounds rough.
他人事だからって言ってくれるわ。あ、ついでだから見ていく？遠坂が見学する分には男どもも喜ぶけど。
弓道部か。
Can I just stop for a second and say I love the way this game does its text boxes? It's literally just the entire thing is the text box, which is very cool to me because that means I don't get in the way whenever I'm down here with my arm and stuff and my VTuber model, you know? I don't really get in the way because it's at the top. It just goes top to down. It's very good. Very cool. Love that. I'm acquainted with 3 of its members. One is Ayako, the girl I'm talking to now. I barely ever speak to the other 2. One of those latter 2 is there's one that I can't actually explain away as simply an acquaintance. I became friends with Ayako, the club captain, because I've been watching the club from afar.
そうね。様子を見るだけなら付き合うわ。早く来すぎたからやることもないし。
よし、じゃあ善は急げ。早速行こう。
One of our school trademarks is this well-equipped archery range. I should be doing this and then taking screenshots, because that's what I said I was gonna do, but I haven't done it yet. So, should I start now? What if I press this button? Fuck. What if I press this button? That's pretty good. Not exactly what I was looking for, though. What if I press... this button? No. This button? No. This button? No. This button? No. There's a button I press, sometimes on accident, that does the same thing as my control button does. Oh, hello, Dragon Shadow. Thank you for the tier 1. Much appreciated, much appreciated. 21-month streak. That's crazy. Where are you at, button? But it's not just the print screen button. It's not that. There we go. I have to hold it down. But it didn't do it on the correct place. Oh no. Oh geez. Okay, so it's not gonna let me do it the easy way. I can only do it the hard way, which is yeah. No, it isn't even gonna let me do it the hard way. What? How dare you? How dare you? I think it's because it's on full screen. So let's go to config. Let's get off of full screen. We'll go. Oh, there's no window. There's no. Oh, there's the good one isn't there. We can do 1920 by 1080, but it doesn't get the whole thing if I do it that way. I think this is the best we can do to get everything. So let's go ahead and fix it on the game capture. Yeah. All right, so now that I've done that, can I now do this? Yes. And then I do it like that. Yes, but I'm gonna have to at that point do that every time. Ugh, that's gonna suck. So I go down here to the bottom here. I hover my little cursor right there. And then I go bia. At which point I do that. And now let's see if it saves. Unfortunate. It does save, but it saves very weirdly. But I guess that's fine. It just means I got to do a lot of editing for all of them. But I guess that's fine. We've done it. We figured it out. Wonderful. The chair of the school board has a passion for Kyudo, traditional Japanese archery. So they built a magnificent range on campus. I forgot I was RIM for a second. It's kind of a waste for high school club, to be honest.
ほらほら、まだ開始まで時間があるし、中でお茶しようぜ、遠坂。
Ayako tugs on my arm, looking somewhat pleased. If I'm being honest, if I go down here, it does too? Oh, I thought it was just over here. Also, you guys can see my cursor now, I think. Haha! Whoa! Pew 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 pew. Very cool. Very nice. I'm gonna get this over here. I'm gonna not cover the chat with it. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. If I'm being honest, her brusque, I don't know how to say that word. Way of speaking is a bad habit. Steal the archery range. Steal it. Stole it. Stole the archery range. And then we paste it here. Perfect. I'm stealing all of these. Yeah, steal the archery range for no reason. Honestly, seriously, no reason. I may use it for a different thing. Or just not use it at all. I'm stealing literally every background I find. Like I'm stealing everything. I'm not trying to get anything in particular. But if I ever need any of them, I'll have them. Use it in every campaign now. Every campaign will have an archery range. Well, the thing with it is, I could just grab these backgrounds from a bunch of different resources that have these available. You can get these in a lot of different places. But I want them as big as they are on my computer. I want them as big as they are on my computer right here. So yeah. As Ayako said, there's no one else at the range. We sip Japanese tea that's so hot it numbs my tongue as we prepare ahead for today's classes. The hot drink is delicious in the quiet, wintry archery range.
さて、単刀直入に聞くけど、そっちの調子はどうなのよ、遠坂。
Oh,
いい加減頼りになる相棒は見つかった？
finally reel in someone. I mean, if we were doing the Persona game, then getting the archery range might have been good, but we're not doing that game anymore. And she uses the occasion to ask me something completely ridiculous.
ほんと、いきなり本題に入るのね、あなたは。その言いぶりだと、そっちはもう見つけたんだ。
はあ。
ノーコメント。遠坂が手を沸かすまではこっちも秘密さ。で、どうなのよ。その疲れた顔を見ると脈ありって感じだけど。
Whoa! They're saying you stayed up all night and had intercourse. Wow!
こっちもノーコメント。ってあなたに隠してもどうせ見抜かれるか。残念ながらこっちはまだよ。綾子の方はお互いのんびりしてる余裕はないはずだけど。
そうなんだけど、私も雲行きは怪しいわ。とりあえず取り繕うことはできるけど、ことがことでしょ。この先の命運がかかってるんだから妥協するわけにもいかないし。
勝手に決めて私に負けるのも嫌？
もちろん。 私にとって重要なのはあんたを任すことだもの。何が手に入るとか、何を手に入
I
れる
need
と
to
かは
beat
二の次よ。
you with a quality partner. I don't give a fuck who that is, but it needs to be better than whoever yours is. She chuckles confidently.
似た者同士ね、私たち。
ええ、初めて会った時に言ったでしょ。あんたとはそういう関係にあるんだって。
She did, didn't she? Kill or be killed. I'm sure that's how it'll be between the two of us. I was genuinely surprised to have someone say that right off the bat. Translation: our friendship won't bloom unless we're constantly trading blows, is what Ayako was getting at. I agree with her. In those 2 years since then, I still haven't figured out whether she's my friend or my nemesis. You guys are friends. You're friends.
ところでさ、私たちなんでこんな話してるんだっけ？
なんでって言い出したのは遠坂でしょ。あんたがいつまでも彼氏がいないのは女としてどうよなんてこぼすもんだから。なら3年になる前にどっちが先に男作るかって勝負になったんじゃない。
ああ、そうだった。売り言葉に買い言葉ってやつだった。
Oh,
で、遅れを取った方が
that's a
一日にな
crazy
りにな
bet.
るんだっけ？
That's a crazy bet.
ええ、今時子供でも交わさない約束だけど、あんたと私に限って往生際が悪いってことはないでしょ。どんな結果になろうと負けた方はおとなしく勝者に従うことになる。それを思うと私は今から楽しみで楽しみで。
Ayako snickers in delight. My goodness. Ayako Mitsuzuri is, to put it mildly, a handful. I'll admit, I'm looking forward to winning myself, so that goes for us both.
そうけど三つさん、楽しむのは結構だけど目的を違えないよう気をつけなさい。勝負の内容は後先だけじゃないでしょ。
分かってるって。遠坂より早く遠坂が心底羨ましがるような関係にならないと完全勝利とは言えないからね。
It's only good if you envy me. So yeah, it has to be a good one, but damn. I was wondering how you're going to do the visual novel when, you know. What? Mouth stuff? Oh yeah, I have my painkillers in right now. I'm only supposed to be able to take them once a day, but I do have my painkillers in right now. At the moment, I'm just letting them all talk. Yeah. Also, technically, after last night, my mouth has been feeling better. This may be some TMI for some peeps. Last night, my mouth started bleeding because I have an infection in my tooth. But me and my mom seem to think that was the bad stuff getting out, maybe, because it's felt better since then. I also slept on a little cooling pad last night, so that could also have something to do with it as well. But there's no swelling today, which is good. So like it says, maybe we don't know anything about what's actually going on in my mouth because we haven't had a dentist to do any x-rays or any things at the moment, because literally the only dentist around that will take my shit, I can only see at the end of September. So I don't know what was going on up there, but at the moment, a lot of stuff kind of got thrown out last night. I told my doctors today, I'm like, hey doctors, I was bleeding in my mouth last night, and they're like, yeah, we thought that might happen because you told us that you fiddle around with your tongue and with like little pokey things. I do have toothpicks here that I have been told that I can use if there's ever like pain and I need to like alleviate it by like moving something around over there. But that wasn't why it happened yesterday. It just sort of happened yesterday. Like it just sort of kind of popped out, like pop, and I'm like, so we're all sort of in an agreement at the moment that whatever was causing the swelling might have just either lessened a lot last night because of what happened or got purged out because of the medicines I'm taking, because I am taking some antibiotics at the moment. This is a weird thing to talk about during Fate, but yeah. It feels a lot better today is the main thing. It isn't swelled like it's been the last like 4 days. There isn't like a big swelling in my jaw, so I can go like and it doesn't really hurt that much. And there's like a little bit of a twinge, but I'm also on painkillers, so that's good too. Anyway, let's keep going. Can I use my? I can use my controller.
私たちにとってはそれが一番厄介な問題なんだが、どんなにいい男だろうと好きになれなきゃ意味がない。
Exactly. Ayoko's sigh is heavy. From what I've heard, she's known as a bit of a misandrist. What's a misandrist? What's a misandrist, chap? I know the word, I just don't know what it means. I know it like is misandry, but there's so many things. Hates men. Okay. All right. Got it. Got it. So she just needs to kiss Rin. Misogynist for men. Okay. Yeah. She just needs to kiss Rin and everything will be fine. Can't put too much stock in gossip though. That she made this bet with it all means that she just doesn't like boys, and means less that she just doesn't like boys and more that she hasn't found the right boy. Hello, boy. That aside.
ちょっと、私たちって何よ、私たちって。断っておきますけど、私はそっちと違って冷血感じゃありません。男の子を好きになるなんて問題でもなんでもないわ。
I knew that I knew the word because I was able to sound the word out, and I'm like, okay, I know where that is. But I was like, tell me specific what in my brain. And you guys did. You guys delivered. Thank you very much. Bye.
ああ、それ嘘。もしくは気づいていないだけ。遠坂が男を気にかけるなんてことは絶対ないもの。
I'll have you know that I can. I'm gonna go get soft on a boy right now.
今まで数えきれないぐらい告白されたくせに一つも色良い返事してないじゃない。少しでも興味があるなら付き合おうって思うでしょ。なのに断り続けるってことは、あんた
Dude,
は
she's shooting her
男
shot
に
right
興味
now.
がないってこと
She
よ。
is shooting her shot right now.
発想が貧困ね。その場合、すでに好きな相手がいるから断ってるって話もありじゃない？
うわ、すっごい美談。いいね、そういうの。ロマンだな。
Aiko's tone isn't mocking. She nods solemnly. Her sigh tells me that it would be nice if it were true. I don't believe myself. I really can't hide anything from her.
そうね。私もそう思う。
She's right. I know very well how cold I am.
認めるわ。私、こと恋愛に関しては素人みたい。
そういうこと。似た者同士だって言ったのも遠坂でしょ。もうじき7時か。秘密の話はこの辺にしとこう。いつ人がやってくるかわからないし、朝になったら学生らしく振る舞わないとな。
まあ、三辻さんにもそういう世間体があったなんて意外だわ。ええ、これだけでも早起きした甲斐があったみたい。
ふん、あんたほど筋金入ってないけどね。私の世間体なんて遠坂凛に比べたら灯籠の斧ってもんよ。あんたの猫っかぶりは擬態っていうより別人格のレベルよ。別人格。
Aiko sniffs exaggeratedly. I'm guessing that's not what she does. I empty the rest of the teacup she poured for me and brew a new pot.
で、遠坂はどうして部活に入らないのよ。運動神経がないなんてざれ言は聞かないからね。私は去年の体力測定でことごとくあんたに負けたのまだ恨んでるんだから。
あら、肺活量では三辻さんに負けたわよ、私。あと、体重も三辻さんの方が上だったけど。
That's so bad to say!
やったー、重さで3キロ上回った。
It's Ayako though, so she doesn't give a fuck. Out, never mind.
体重で勝っても嬉しくないってのよ、このタヌキ。
Ayako slaps the table.
危ない。お茶がこぼれるでしょ、三辻さん。首相なんだから道場は大事になさい。
Honestly, from what I remembered of Ayako, it would have been so in character for her to just be like, "Ah, yeah, that sucks," and then just keep going. But like, nah, they played her pretty straight. They're like, "Slam! Don't trick me into saying I've gained weight. How dare you!"
うるさい。私は首相である前に遠坂のライバルだ。
I'm the captain somewhere after that.
部員がいなけりゃあんたに食ってかかるのは当然よ。
Ayako side-eyes me with a huff. She has a unique idea about beauty. A beautiful woman must walk the martial path. She's always going on about that. Not surprisingly, she's well-versed in most martial arts. Kyudo was the discipline she was least skilled at, so she joined the club and worked her way up to captain. Like a freak. She's probably one of the top 3 people in her school you'd at least want to mess with.
あら、部員がいなければ首相じゃないなんて問題発言じゃない？それ。
問題発言なもんですか。私はお飾りの首相だから、できることって言ったら不良部員を取り締まることだけよ。私以上にしゃがりっぱなやつがいるんだから、首相としての面目なんてないわ。
I don't give a fuck.
そうなの？藤村先生、三辻さんは飛び抜けてうまいって言ってたけど。
あの人がそう言うんなら、そりゃ少しは自信が持てるけど、まあいなくなっちまったやつのことなんて考えても仕方ないか。そうね、藤村先生がそう言ってくれたんなら真面目に首相やんないとまずいか。
This is something I noticed whenever I first played the game, that they really like to hammer in like in this, like they really, if knowing the future that happens in this game, they really love hammering this point in early.
そうそう。噂をすれば影。そろそろ部員がやってくる頃でしょ。私はおいとまするけど、三辻さんはきちんと首相になりなさい。
何？見ていかないの？シャ。
見てもわからないもの。遠くから眺める分にはいいけどね。不心得者が道場にいるわけにはいかないでしょ。
Just as I get it to leave, the first club members begin entering the archery range.
おはようございます、首相。
ああ、おはようマト。今朝は一人？
はい、力になれず申し訳ありません。
ああ、いいっていいって。本人が弓をやらないって言うんなら無理をさせても仕方がない。
Ayako speaks to the first club member to arrive,
それじゃあ失礼するわ。
whom I definitely don't know and definitely don't care about and don't want to talk to at all. Nope. Mm-mm.
ああ、また後でね、遠坂。
お疲れ様です、遠坂先輩。ありがとう。さくらもしっかりね。
Definitely don't want to talk to them at all. Definitely don't want to have any kind of relationship talk with them. Like not like a relationship, but like, you know, a kind of relationship. Don't want to chat and hold and love and invite back over to my house to live with me because she's my sister. Anyway, I leave the dojo behind so as not to get in the way.
いやあ、遠坂。おはよう。朝から君に会えるなんてついてるな。
And meet the worst fucking person in the world. Oh no. And here comes the person I least wanted to see.
おはよう、マト君。今日は早いのね。
当たり前だろ。首相なんだから。早めに来ないと 1年に示しがつかないじゃないか。
But you're not. Shinji Mato from Class 2C grins at me. He's the vice captain of the Kyudo Club and darling of half the girls in the school. It's mostly thanks to his looks, of course, but he's also admired for his good grades, social graces, being kind to girls, and being an overall heartthrob or something like that. I really don't follow that kind of stuff. It's just what I hear my classmates say.
そう。ご機嫌なところ悪いんだけど、一文字抜けてるわ、マトくん。大事な字だから忘れない方がいいと思うけど。
Hey, it's Mato. I'm sure I'll grow to love this character. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he's great. He's wonderful.
一文字抜けてるって何がさ。
幸福の福。字は違うけど響きは一緒でしょ、副首相さん。気をつけなさい。別に首相も副首相も変わらないけど。
If you leave that out, people might think you it bothers you, Vice Captain.
そうだね。今後は気をつける。ありがとう、遠坂。
お礼を言われるようなことはしてないけど、まあマト君がそう思ったのなら私には関係ないか。
With that, I turn to leave the range.
ちょっと待てよ。見学に来たんだろ。なら見ていけばいいじゃないか。遠坂なら大歓迎だよ。
遠慮するわ。練習の邪魔をしたくないもの。
そんなの構わないよ。他の連中が気に障るんなら締め出すからさ。
だから邪魔をする気はないって言ってるでしょ。それに私別に弓道に興味があるわけじゃないから、知らないやつのシャを見ても嬉しくないわ。
That was short for that long sentence. It says arrows right there.
ん？なんだよ、遠坂。弓道に興味はなかったのか。へえ。だっていうのに放課後になると遠くから見てたのはそういうわけかな。
They like hammering this part in a lot too in the game, or in the game as opposed to any of the other medias. I'm very happy about that. I don't know what he's playing at, but he seems to have seriously misunderstood things.
なんだ、知ってたの、マト君。
ああ、よく目があったんだぜ。
Yeah, definitely for you. Not two other people, definitely just you.
遠坂は僕を見ていたの。声を返したかったけど、一応決まりでね。車上では声を上げちゃいけないんだ。
Oh God. That could be a genuine jump scare. Shinji starts closing in on me, looking pleased with himself. I see the triumphant glint in his eye, competing with that affable smile.
勘違いしてたよ。遠坂は弓が好きなんだと思ってたけど、弓道には興味がないんだろ。
I don't know what that was. Why did
遠坂は道場を見ていたのかな。
Where's my thing at? There it is. Why did it do a weird there? Ellipsis. Ah, now I see. It would sound like that, wouldn't it?
離れてくれないかしら、マト君。私、あまり人に近寄られるのは好きじゃないし。
ん？何？遠坂？
あきれた。ここまで言ってもわからないのね。趣味じゃないけど仕方ないか。簡単にあなたにも理解できるように。
I'll make this real simple.
いい、マト君。私は弓道に興味がない以上にあなたに興味はないって言ってるのよ。実際あなたが車上にいたなんて今初めて知ったぐらいだし、きっとこれからも目に入らないわ。
Fuck!
なんだと？
I must have touched a nerve because he tries to grab me roughly. I twist out of his reach and turn to leave.
それじゃあね、マト君。自意識過剰なのも結構だけど、ほどほどにしておいた方がいいわよ。
遠坂、お前。
Shinji sounds like he's about to say something, but he keeps his temper and doesn't chase after me. The guy is all style, no substance. If he had even a little backbone, the people around him wouldn't suffer nearly so much. Oh, new thing. New thing drop. Hold up. We find a good spot. There we go. Haha. I'm getting all the backgrounds. I'm stealing them. All right, let's keep going. I take the rear entrance to campus from the archery range. It's past 7 now, but there still aren't students in the hallways. Can't you open the files and take them from there? Probably. But that requires work. Because I don't think that they're in an easily accessible place. Let's look. I don't think they're in a very easily accessible place. But we can check. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Browse local files. Like, I don't doubt that they're in here, but it's not gonna be in a very obvious spot. Yeah, no, they're all packed. They're all packed in bins. Yeah. They're all packed in data files and shit. Yeah. Can't do it. Not today. Yeah! It's Taiga.
おはようございます、藤村先生。
おはよう遠坂さん。ちゃんと挨拶してくれて先生は嬉しいよ。
This strange woman pretends to sob in delight. It may be hard to believe, but this extraordinarily affectionate and happy-go-lucky woman is actually a teacher here. Also, for some reason, one of the most powerful beings in the entirety of the universe. I don't know. It's weird.
先生、ちゃんと挨拶をする以外に
I'm only half kidding. I'm only half kidding when I say that. Like, for some reason, she has her hands in a lot of pots for just being a fucking teacher.
あるわよ。1年生はちゃんと挨拶してくれるんだけどね。上級生になってくると私の名字で挨拶しないんだから。遠坂さんはああいう輩の真似しちゃダメだからね。
はあ、よくわかりませんけど、先生に失礼なことはしませんが。
よしよし。ああ、みんながみんな遠坂さんみたいだったらいいのにな。
And it's not specifically her. It's more Nasu loves her. Oh, there we go. New thing. We couldn't get it before because Taiga was in the way. Grabbed. The parting wave and a see ya, Miss Fujimura leaves. Fortunately, she isn't my homeroom teacher. Miss Fujimura teaches English. Her sunny attitude belies her expert rank in Japanese fencing kendo in her student days. They called her the Fuyuki Tiger. She literally could probably beat the shit out of like so many more people than you would expect. It's just funny. It's just hilarious. That's the mystery, though. You'd think someone known as a tiger would be feared, not adored, right? Miss Fujimura cheerily heads in the direction of the archery range. For some reason, she's the faculty advisor to the Kyudo Club instead of the Kendo Club. 'Cause she's weird. New thing! I think? Is that a new thing? Old thing! It's not a new thing. Never mind. Don't need this one. It's just before 7:30. I can see students doing their club activities on the school grounds, but there's hardly anyone indoors. Except... Ha ha ha. He always blurts out my name like I did something wrong every time he sees me.
あら、生徒会長。 こんな朝早くから校舎の見回り？それとも各部室の手入れかしら？どっちでもいいけど相変わらず豆ね、そういうとこ。
Diligent as always, not that I give a fuck.
そういうお前こそ何を企んでいる？部活動もしていないお前がこんな早くに何の用か？
ただの気まぐれよ。竜斗くんちみたいに早起きじゃないもの、私。
The student council president's handsome face darkens with suspicion. Man, it's weird how like everybody in this entire city has like some kind of blue hair. Like it's black. It's definitely black hair, but like it's kind of blue. He seems to have it out for me. I really don't know why. Maybe me saying temples are so dull pass is what started it?
一つ聞いておくが、最近夜遅くまで校舎にいたことはあるか、遠坂？
ない
No.
わね。私が帰宅部だって知ってるでしょ、竜斗くんは。
当然だ。生徒会長を任された以上、全校生徒の情報は把握している。
そう。なら私に聞くまでもないでしょ。なんだってそんなことを聞くか知らないけど、生徒会の仕事を部外者に押し付けちゃまずいんじゃない？情報収集は一人でやりなさいよ。私みたいな部外者に頼らないで。
たわけ、お前のどこが部外者だ？うちの会計の首根っこ掴んで悪さをしたのを知らぬと思ったが。
You're wild! Wah! To get on into our treasurer, you vixen! Wah!
あら、人聞きが悪いわね。あれは三辻さんに頼まれて部費の割合を明らかにしただけでしょ。みんなの予算がどこに使われているか調べるなんて生徒として当然の行為だと思うけど。
なんと、うちの会計を1週間休ませた精神的ダメージが当然の行為なのか？とんでもない倫理観をお持ちのようだな、相変わらず。
あなたもね、部下の手綱ぐらいちゃんと握ってなさい。文化系ばかりひいきするのはフェアじゃないわ。
Don't be mean to the treasurer.
わかっている。だからこそ俺の手で不正を正したかったのだが。
It him. How come he didn't say anything there? It's fixed, you say. Just then, an unexpected visitor makes his presence known.
と、悪い。頼んだのはこっちなのに、エミヤに任せっきりにしてしまった。許せ。
I guess he just doesn't have a voice. Okay. Don't worry about it. Where's the next one? We don't have much time.
ああ、次は視聴覚室だ。前から調子が悪かったそうなんだが、この度ついに天寿を全うされた。
If it's completely broken, I can't fix it. It'd be easier to buy a new one.
そうなんだが、一応見てくれると助かる。俺から見れば臨終だが、お前から見れば仮病かもしれん。
Okay, I'll try. Beckoned by the other student, the president leaves. I'd stopped thinking during the sudden turn of events. The other boy, wrench and screwdriver in hand, turns as if he remembered something. You're early today, Tosaka. He awkwardly mutters and leaves. Was that supposed to be a greeting? The president and the student called Emiya to walk off to the distance. Oh, and the student called Emiya. That would be Shiro Emiya from class 2C.
それはいいんだけどさ。
How do I put it? The wrench looked right at home in his hands, but I'm not sure if it's because it makes him look tough or handy. 7:30 a.m. There's nobody in classroom 2A. I take a seat at my desk and flip through my math workbook. There's still 30 minutes until morning homeroom. I've still got time to kill until my classmate starts arriving. Bum, bum, bum. I should probably take the classroom as well. I should probably take it. What? Take it. What? Take it. There we go. Honestly, I wonder if taking it a different way would be better. The next one, I'll try a different way. We'll see, we'll see. All right. The classroom is lively as lunch break begins in the 4th period. My school has a cafeteria, so only about half the students stay in the room. It's mostly girls that stay behind. The girls think the cafeteria is a bit too liberal with the seasoning, so...
遠坂さん、よかったらお昼ご飯一緒に食べませんか?
We girls tend to enjoy our lunches as a group.
ありがとう、三枝さん。けどごめんなさい。私今日は学食なんです。今朝は寝過ごしてしまってお弁当を作る余裕がなかったものですから。あ、いや、そうなんですか。ごめんなさい。そうとも知らず呼び止めてしまって。
They're gonna be an assassin servant. They're ambushing. Saigusa looks guiltily at her feet. Among the refined and well-behaved students of Class A, she's the most demure. For some reason, she's really nice to me.
余計なことだなんてそんなことはありません。今日はたまたまだから気にしないで。また明日これに懲りず声をかけてください。
I let her down as gently as I can and offer a genuine smile.
あ、はい。でも遠坂さんでも寝過ごすことがあるんですね。
Perhaps my smile made her feel better. Saigusa returns back to her table looking relieved. She's adorable. Yukika Saigusa isn't drop-dead gorgeous, but her smile always puts everyone around her at ease.
ええ、そうなんです。なんとかごまかしてますけど、本当は寝ぼすけなんですよ、私。部活だって朝起きられないから入ってないんです。
Saigusa somehow maintains an elegant air, and even when startled. Watching her reactions is always so calming, but that doesn't mean I have time to just sit here and talk. If I keep a conversation with someone so disarming, the real me is bound to show itself. Uh-oh.
それじゃあ、
I will
食堂に
bully
行ってきます。
her so
三枝
hard.
さんもごゆっくり。
I'm gonna bully the fuck out of her if I keep staying here.
はい、遠坂さんも。
Saigusa and I exchange some graceful greetings and return to her friends. I see that she's eating with Kaide Makidera and Kane Himuro? Oh right, wasn't Saigusa on the track and field club manager? Makidera and Himuro are on the track and field club's rising stars. Makidera is a bad influence with whom I go window shopping on days off, but I don't know Himuro too well.
お、売られたね、ゆきっち。だから言ったでしょ。遠坂は弁当持ってこないって。釣りたかったらあいつの分も飯用意しないとね。
Bring enough food for both.
マキ、それは私たちも食堂に移動すればいいだけの話では。
ダメダメ、食堂は狭いんだから。弁当組が座れるスペースなんてねっての。それに遠坂と同席してみなさい。男どもの視線がうざいのなんの。
Get oogled.
前の休みだってさ、二人で遊びに行ったのにあいつだけ得しちゃってさ。やだよね、美人を鼻にかけた優等生は。
We won't get oogled, and that's a problem. Makidera takes hold of Saigusa's desk, and she continues to rant about me. Despite her foul mouth, she actually wears a kimono really well, like a picturesque Japanese beauty.
牧野氏、 君の陰口は遠坂城に聞こえているようだが。
Meanwhile, Himuro's cool and solid demeanor are a complete foil to that of Makadera.
やべ、遠坂に聞かれた。ゲゲ、めっちゃ睨んでるじゃん、あいつ。
Chi.
別に遠坂さん、めっちゃ
Chi.
睨んでなんかないと思う。
Chi.
睨んでんだよ、あれ。あいつは笑ってる時が一番怖いんだから。なんだよ、いいじゃんか、愚痴ぐらい。多めに見ろよ。私と遠坂の仲だろ。たい焼きおごってやったから。
Let it fly! I gave you food once. I can talk about you behind your back. Kade Makadera puffs out her cheeks into the pout, waving her disposable chopsticks in the air. Would you believe that her hobby is collecting wind chimes? The world works in strange ways. At any rate, it's rude for Segusa to stare at the three of them. Oh. I guess. Caught between me and the foul-mouthed Makadera, Segusa looks like she doesn't know what to do with herself.
気にしないでいいのよ、三枝さん。それと牧寺さん、おごらされたのは私で、品物はたい焼きではなくクレープでした。無意識に事実を改ざんする悪癖、次あたりに直さないと考えますよ。マジ怖え、あの笑顔。
I love how a lot of the students around Rin do not fucking fall for it. They do not fall at all for the persona. It's like, that smile creeps me the fuck out, dude. Makadera holds up her lunchbox lid and like some kind of shield. I bid the odd trio farewell and leave the room. And slide the door closed. Oops.
なんだよ、大差ないじゃんか、たい焼きもクレープも。どっちも甘いの、皮で包んでるんだからさ。
Makadera utters something blasphemous for a girl. Oh, fuck.
たい焼きとクレープが同じですって？
See, I could grab this hallway. I'm gonna try something. This is gonna be our potential thing here. We're gonna do window. This window. Did it work? We're gonna see if it worked. It did work. Ooh. Okay, that might be what I do from now on then, instead of the other thing. It's going to cut back on a little bit of the grind. Hold on. Go right ahead. Phantom was asking permission to post something, and I'm like, yeah, go ahead. They did a little bit of work for FOMO, for a character stuff, and I'm like, yeah, you can post that. You can tell people about that. Why not? Heck yeah. She thinks taiyaki and crepes are the same? Is she even human? Are all desserts the same to her? If I'd known that her taste buds can't distinguish Flora's 500 yen very, very berry from an 80 yen taiyaki in Edomaya, damn you, Kaide Makadera. I could have saved 420 yen.
何本気で悔しがってるんだ、私。
Oh, hold on. Getting another message. Good. I must still be tired from last night. The cafeteria sounds like a pain, so I'll just buy some bread from the counter and eat on the roof. Roof! Roof! Bro. Yeah, that's a lot better. A lot better than having to do the other way. Heck yeah. I purchased my lunch and head to the unoccupied roof. Though it's different in the summertime, during the winter the roof is a convenient place to eat that other students tend to avoid. It's too cold to hang out here during lunch, but that's a small price to pay for privacy. Pay for privacy. That one. I indulge in the tomato sandwich and hot lemon drink I bought from the cafeteria. Tomato sandwich sounds pretty good. You put a little bit of oil on like a little toasted bread. Have some tomato, some mozz. Oh, it's so good. It's a simple lunch, made all the more delicious by the fact I can enjoy it up here in peace. I finish the sandwich and sip the warm lemony drink. I'm a little tired. It's hard to balance being an overachiever with avoiding human contact as much as possible. As the saying goes, one should be accomplished at both the pen and the sword. It's a point of pride, no conviction, that I be the top student of the school. I decided that if I was going to be a student, then I would be the very best. I don't want people looking down on the Tosaka name. That's how Ren Tosaka became to be the perfect, flawless student. On the other hand, my occupation as a mage is dangerous, so I shouldn't associate too much with normal people. When a mage is discovered by the public, she has no choice but to eliminate the witnesses to protect herself. I'd rather not resort to that. That's why I keep my social interactions purely superficial, out of necessity. I only hang out with Makadera on my days off, and I turn down invitations from more sociable people like Segusa. It's difficult walking the tightrope, being the #1 student at school while making sure I don't become anybody else's #1. And sure, there are times when it tires me out, and I feel like life is a real drag. I finish the hot lemon drink and stand up. That's enough sentimentality for today. Time to go back downstairs and become Ren Tosaka again. I love that she thinks of it as a completely different thing.
ホームルームを終了する。日直は日誌と戸締まりの確認を。
Okay!
部活動のない生徒は速やかに帰宅するように。
Class 2A's teacher gives him an unusual spiel, or that gives his usual spiel and leaves the room. Hold on. It's now a new time of day. And that means I can steal it again. Done. Ah, so naughty. So naughty, stealing all the time. If only somebody could punish me. As far as I know, he said it's exactly the same way all year.
遠坂、今日はもうお帰り？
ええ、朝方麻藤君と一件あったし、面倒になる前に帰るわ。
やっぱりそうか。麻藤のやつ、今朝は特に荒れてたからさ。遠坂に手ひどく扱われたんだろうなって思ってた。
そう、迷惑をかけてしまったかしら、三辻さん。
ごめんなさい。
別に、麻藤が下級生をいびるのはいつものことだし、あれはあれでいい精神鍛錬になるよ。
そう、よかった。じゃあ、この埋め合わせはまた今度。
はいはい、これに懲りずまた寄っていってちょうだい。
I've never played this game without the spicy bits in it, so I wonder how they're gonna do certain things. I wonder how they're gonna talk about certain things, or if they're just gonna completely like avoid it like the plague, like I would expect. My time as Ren Tosaka, the honor student, ends once I leave the school. The next half of the day is reserved for the other me. I have to become a mage of the Tosaka. I don't think I'm gonna need this room ever, but I'm taking it. When I arrive back at the house, I'm greeted with the pulsing light of my answering machine.
留守電なんて珍しいな。相手はやっぱりあんたか、キラ。
Probably Kirei. I have a feeling I know what he's going to say, but I better listen or I won't hear the end of it later. I press the play button and hear a familiar male voice.
私だ。分かっていると思うが、期限は明日までだぞ、リン。あまり悠長に構えられては困る。残る席はあと2つだ。
Oh.
早々にマスターを揃えねばならん。
The priest cut straight to the point.
マスターの権利を放棄するというのなら、今日中に連絡しろ。予備の魔術師を派遣するにも。
That's always interesting to me. That they go out of their way to grab other things in this one, but they didn't in Zero. It's very interesting to me. Maybe it's just something that they're putting into practice now, or it's something that Nasu put in here and then decided, fuck it, whenever he did other things in the future. Liar, I bet you could find a backup right away.
お前にはすでに0時の兆しが現れているのだ。さっさとサーバントを召喚し、0時を開け。もっとも、聖杯戦争に参加しないというのならば話は別だ。命が惜しいのなら、早々に教会に駆け込むがいい。
The voicemail ends. It was a clear message in simple language. If you're going to fight, then be ready by today. If you aren't, then retire because you're in the way.
言われなくても分かってるわよ。
It's only to be expected, I guess. Today's the last day I can drag this out. Thankfully, I managed to decipher Father's notes yesterday. My battle preparations are in order. All that's left is to seize the right to participate, as he said.
聖杯戦争。たった一つきりの聖杯を奪い合う殺し合い。何百年も前から伝わってきた聖杯の儀式か。
The mages who take part in the Holy Grail War are called masters. It doesn't denote a rank of any kind, it merely describes their role. There's a condition to participate in the Holy Grail War. You must summon a familiar called a servant and form a contract with them. Regardless of your skills as a mage, you are not recognized as a master unless you command a servant. There's a clear difference between servants and normal familiars. The way you summon and use them are different. Mages who plan to fight in the Holy Grail War prepare summoning catalysts, but...
ほんと、父さんもセイバーにゆかりのものを残してくれればよかったのに。
Oh. I don't own any relics with a connection to a servant. I can summon one, yes. In fact, I could do it right now if I wanted to, as well as form a contract. This town's ley lines are under the jurisdiction of the Tosaka. I'm the heir to a clan that's administered the land for generations, so my performance will not take a back seat to some visiting mage. Although, while that is true, it'd be awfully incompetent of me to embark on a figurative voyage without a compass.
サーバントはシンボルによって引き寄せられる。強力なサーバントを呼び出したいのなら、そのサーバントにゆかりのあるものが必要不可欠なのだ。
This is something that so many people in the fandom don't remember, or they take very lightly. Ah, fuck! What the hell?
どうさか今日。
ええ、朝方マトー君と一見あったし、面倒にならんかるわ。
I did it. I found it.
強力なサーバントを呼び出したいのな
We're
ら
back.
そのサーバントにゆかりのあるものが必要不可欠なのだ
This is something that a lot of people in the fandom forgets about, or they don't take it as much into account as they should. Because in most cases, there is something around that is connected to that servant. In most cases that we've ever seen, there is something connecting that servant to that person. Whether it is an artifact, whether it is a place, whether it is an event, whether it is just the personality of the mage, something connects them to the servant they're wanting to summon. That being said, it isn't always the case. You could just randomly summon something if you wanted. But people say if you want a powerful servant, you need a symbol to connect to that servant. That's what Rin says here, at least. It's true. You at least know what you're getting into at the very least. But it is very much a thing of you could summon anything. You could completely gotcha it up and it would still work. But a lot of people in the Fate fandom, they don't take a lot into these words for some reason. So anytime you ever see somebody talking about things, they're like, oh, well, we got to figure out exactly how that happened. It's like, you don't. It could have just been random. It's fine. Okay, hear me out. Poor rolls just gets you the same guy like the old guy you met at your grocery store the one time you happened to pick up a bow once. It can give you anything. It can give you anything that can be considered a heroic spirit. And unfortunately, nothing in the modern day usually can be considered that. There are caveats. I think there are more caveats than most people seem to think there are. But you just have to take certain words into account and understand who's saying certain other words. Yeah. In other words, you need some outrageously valuable item like a sword or a piece of armor that servant owned. Or maybe a bone or heraldry related to them.
父さんの遺言に期待してたんだけどな。これはこれでものすごい切り札なんだけど。
The pendant I discovered in the basement last night is an ancient artifact of the highest quality. It's amazing all on its own. Still, it won't help me summon a servant.
いいわよ。そんなものに頼らなくたってなんとかなるわ。そもそも私以外にセーバーを扱えるマスターなんているはずないし。
Alright, I made up my mind. I'd rather not get another earful, and waiting until the last minute doesn't sit right with me. Now the real challenge begins. Tonight, I'm going to summon a servant while I'm at peak condition and acquire Saber by force. So many things are in place to do this, and it's so funny. I don't think I need this. I'm taking it anyway. Get took. Get took, nerd. Get took, nerd. Get stolen. Late night. The clock reads almost 2 a.m. This is the period where everything lines up. My condition peaks at 2 a.m. sharp. In terms of limits, this is my first and last chance. So I can't afford even the slightest mistake.
消去の中に大挙。大挙の陣を4つ刻んで、召喚の陣で囲むと。
I inscribe magic circles into the floor of the basement. Actually, it doesn't take a major evocation to call forth a servant. Servants are invited by the Holy Grail. Masters anchor them to the world and supply the magical energy to materialize them, but the servants are the ones who choose to respond to the summons.
ソに銀と鉄、礎に石と契約の太鼓、ソには我が大使シュバイン用具、降り立つ風には壁を、四方の門は閉じ、王冠よりいで、王国に至る三サロは循環せよ。
Still, I need to keep cautious and focus. Magic circles are normally drawn with blood, but tonight I drew mine with melted jewels. I'm using up half of the jewels I accumulated over my lifetime, so I'll never financially recover from this if it fails.
満たせ、満たせ、満たせ、満たせ、満たせ。繰り返し都度に5度。ただ満たされる時を破却する。
It's almost 2 a.m. I finish drawing the summoning circle passed down through the Tosaka line and face it with all my being.
アンフォン。
A flick of formless switch within myself. With a click, I feel my insides turn over into something else. My normal nerves invert and become circuits for conducting magical energy. Rin Tosaka is no longer human. She's just a component for the execution of mystics. I melt from my fingers. No, I'm filled up from my fingers. The mana I'm taking in is so dense it overwrites my bodily sensations. That's why I'm being destroyed at the same time I'm being filled. Running through my body is power, mana from the atmosphere. I convert it into a different type of energy through my body's circuits. A mage's body is nothing but circuits. Circuits to connect the ethereal to the material. The mystical outcome we produce is what we call magecraft. My body grows hot. It seems like horns are growing from my forehead. It seems like wings are sprouting from my back. It seems like scales are covering my hands. It feels like there's water pooling around my ankles. Sweat drips. Stab, stab. Swords pierce my body. These are the stigmata that reject my body, which becomes a circuit. No matter how gifted a mage is, we're only human. In a human body, the pain is something we must live with whenever we choose to use magecraft. The cycle doesn't let up. Beyond the agony, deep within the trance, lies the mental state necessary for connection. Pain wriggles in my left arm. To aid the caster, my magic crest anonymously? Anonymously? Is that how you say that? Anonymously. Wow. Begins an incantation, invading my nervous system. The mana in the atmosphere I've taken turns to blood. It's like molten lead. While my activated magic crest resembles thorny nerves. With a crunching sensation, it creeps throughout my body like a thorny centipede. Within the hurt, I forget myself. At the same time, I can feel it taking hold of me, like I've reached where I need to go. My hypersensitive hearing picks up the ticking clock in the parlor. 10 seconds left until 2 a.m. Power filling my body is unquestionably complete. Time to begin. I convert the mana I've collected into magical energy for fixation. All that's left is to feed all that energy into the engine, the summoning circle, until my body runs dry.
告げる。汝の身は我がもとに。我が命運は汝の剣に。聖杯のゆるべに従い、この断りに従うならば答えよ。
My vision goes dark. What lies before me now is the fifth factor, said to be imperceptible to the naked eye. My vision shuts off on its own, fearing what I might see.
誓いよここに。我は常世すべての善となるもの。我は常世すべての悪を敷くもの。汝三代の言霊をまとう七天。抑止の輪より来たれ。天秤の守り手よ。
That went off without a hitch. It feels so perfect. It's like I'm reeling in a whale with a fishing rod. Flawless. I'm positive I just drew the strongest card. Can't wait for my vision to return. It'll take a few more seconds, but when it does, I'm sure the strongest servant will... be nowhere in sight.
はい？
Nothing's there. The room doesn't look different at all. I spun that much ether into this ritual, only for absolutely nothing to materialize? On top of that, I think I just heard something explode in the parlor. I bolt. My head's simply empty at this point. I just run. I race up the stairs from the basement.
扉壊れてる。
The door to the parlor is askew off its hinges. There isn't any point in turning the doorknob, and since it won't open whether I push or pull,
もう邪魔だかな。
I kick it down and burst into the room. And the moment I enter the parlor, everything becomes clear. Everything is in tatters. Rubble is strewn across everything, as if something has fallen through the ceiling. On top of it all sits a man cocking his head arrogantly. He must be some kind of criminal? But something graver draws my attention. The grandfather clock, having escaped destruction, tells me the time precisely. Now I remember. Right. Of course, the clocks were an hour ahead today, weren't they? I forgot that they mentioned this. Which means it's 1 a.m. Still a full hour left until I'm in peak spellcasting form.
またやっちゃった。
I can complete tasks as well as anybody else, but suffer from the curse of my genetics. When it really counts, I somehow managed to bungle things on an unbelievable level.
やっちゃったことは仕方ない。反省。
I can't believe my own stupidity. Still irritated, I direct my glare at the man lounging haughtily in the rubble.
それで、あんた何？
開口一番それか。これはまたとんでもないマスターに引き当てられたものだ。
The man in the red mantle shakes his head in a show of exasperation. To add insult to injury, he mutters something about drawing the short straw. Oh, now I'm dead certain. This guy has a messed up personality. And is this a servant? I thought familiars were shapeless beings, but this is just a man. No, not just a man. Even from here, I can tell he's brimming with a shocking amount of magical energy. Don't be fooled by his appearance. I'm staring at something that's undoubtedly more than human. It's a human-shaped ghost. It's on the level of an elemental. This is no time to be dumbstruck. That thing belongs to me. I need to get my head in the game.
確認するけど、あなたは私のサーバントで間違いない？
それはこちらが聞きたいな。君こそ私のマスターなのか？ここまで乱暴な召喚は初めてでね。
Never been summoned so violently
状
before.
況がつかめない。
私だって初めてよ。そういう質問は却下するわ。
そうか。だが私が召喚された時に君は目の前にいなかった。
本気？ひな鳥じゃあるまいし、目を開けた時にしか主を決められないなんて冗談はやめてよね。
The unidentified servant frowns with a grunt and escapes his lips. Maybe he didn't like the way I said it, though he has a mixed reaction as if still impressed by the logic in my words.
まあいいわ。私が聞いているのはね、あなたが他の誰でもないこの私のサーバントかってことだけよ。それをはっきりさせない以上、他の質問に答える義務はないわ。
召喚に失敗しておいてそれか。この場合他にいろいろと言うべきことがあると思うのだな。
そんなのないわよ。主従関係は一番初めにはっきりさせておくべきものだもの。
The servant's eyebrow twitches. He isn't even bothering to hide his dissatisfaction with me. I wonder if it's because of the half-baked summoning.
主従関係ははっきりさせておくか。ああ、確かにその意見には賛成だ。どちらが強者でどちらが弱者なのか明確にしておかなければお互いやりづらかろう。
The servant eyes me meaningfully, still relaxing on the rubble of my living room.
どちらが弱者かですって？
ああ、私もサーバントだ。呼ばれたからには主従関係を認めるさ。だがそれはあくまで契約上の話だろう。どちらがより優れたものか、共に戦うにふさわしい相手かを測るのは別になる。さて、その件でいくと、君は私のマスターにふさわしい魔術師なのかな？
Damn.
お嬢さん。
The servant smirks. First he destroys my house and acts like he's king of the castle, and now he has the nerve to ask whether I'm worthy?
あなたの意見なんて聞いてないわ。私が聞いているのは、あなたが私のサーバントかどうかってことだけよ。
I repeat myself, stealing my gaze. I'm not going to back down from this condescending jerk.
おう、なるほどなるほど。そんな当たり前のことは答えるまでもないと。実に勇ましい。いや、気概だけなら立派なマスターだが。
They're both like, whoever answers first is weaker. We gotta give non-answers until we fucking know.
だから順番を間違えるなっていうの。一番初めに確認するのは召喚者の務めよ。さあ答えなさい。あなたは私のサーバントなのね。
I step forward aggressively, ready to pounce depending on his answer.
強情なお嬢さんだ。これでは話が進まんな。仕方あるまい。仮に私が君のサーバントだとしよう。
He lost.
で、その場合、君が私のマスターなのか？いやまあ、あくまで仮の話だが。
当たり前じゃない。あなたが私に呼ばれたサーバントなら、あなたのマスターは私以外に誰がいるっていうのよ。
I glare at this rude man, giving my seething head a moment to cool down.
おう、そうか。まあ仮の話なんだが、とりあえずそうだとしよう。それで、君が私のマスターである証はどこにある？
The servant blithely asks, smirking all the while. He's clearly trying to goad me with these questions into losing my temper.
ここよ。あなたのマスターである証ってこれでしょ？
I show him the command spells on my right hand. Don't think I was born yesterday. Father's told me enough that I know what command spells are at least.
納得いった？これでもまだ文句を言うの？
I thrust the symbols at him in challenge. The lounging servant rolls his eyes.
まあ言ったな。本気で言ってるのか、お嬢さん。
His face darkens, looking even more disgruntled.
本気かってなんでよ？
その考えがだ。霊樹があればマスターなのか。霊樹などサーバントを利する道具に過ぎないだろう。まったく、そんな形だけのものでマスターブルとはな。 私が見たかったのは君が忠誠を振るうにふさわしい人物かどうかだったのだが。
That makes sense, but normally you think command spells if someone asks you for proof they're a master, right?
何よ。それじゃあ私はマスター失格？
そう願いたいが、そうはいくまい。霊樹がある以上、私の召喚者は君のようだ。信じがたいが、君は本当に私のマスターらしいな。
He shrugs in mock exhaustion. Uh-oh. I've reached my boiling point and I'm not going to cool down in time.
全くもって不満だが、認めよう。とりあえず、君は私のマスターだ。だが、私にも条件がある。私は今後、
Oh no.
君の言い分には従わない。
You shouldn't have did that.
戦闘方針は私が決め
Shouldn't
る
have
し、
did that.
これが最大の譲歩だ。それで構わないな、お嬢さん。
Sorry, father. I'm at my limit.
そう。不満だけど認めるくせに、私の意見には取り合わないってどういうことかしら。あなたは
Don't mess with
私
Rin.
のサーバントなんでしょ？
I ask in a trembling voice. After our spat of the command spells, this is my last desperate attempt at dialogue. And yet,
ああ、形の上だけはな。故に、形式上は君に従ってやる。だが、戦うのは私自身だ。君はこの家の地下にでも隠れて、聖杯戦争が終わるまでじっとしていればいい。それなら、未熟な君でも命だけは助かるだろう。
he's looking down on me, declaring that he expects nothing from me.
怒ったのか？いや、もちろん君の立場は尊重するよ。私はマスターを勝利させるために呼ばれたものだからな。私の勝利は君のものだし、戦いで得たものは全て君にくれてやる。それなら文句はなかろう。どうせ君に霊樹は使えまい。まあ、後のことは私に任せて、君は自分の身の安全を。
あったまきた。いいわ。そんなに言うなら使ってやろうじゃない。アンファン。
No more mercy. I've got nothing left for a jackass like this.
まさか。
そのまさかよ、この礼儀知らず。フィアトラーク、アイノイエナーゲル、アイノイエスケナツ、アイノイエスフィアブレヒン。
待て、正気かマスター。そんなことで霊樹を使うやつが。
うるさい。いい？あんたは私のサーバントなら私の言い分には絶対服従ってもんでしょ。
The emblem of my right hand aches. 3 command spells. They allow a master to issue 3 unbreakable commands to their servants.
考えなすか君は。こんな大雑把なことに霊樹を使うなど。
It's too late to whine now. I didn't expect this to happen either. I want to die of self-loathing. I can't believe I just burned one of my precious command spells on a petty squabble. After that, I retreated from the ruins of the parlor and went to my bedroom. Before me stands a servant with whom my command spells compelled absolute obedience from. Supposedly, anyway.
なるほど。君の性質は大体理解したぞ、マスター。
Who would call this absolute obedience?
念のため尋ねるが、君は霊樹がどれほど重要か理解しているのか、マスター。
知ってるわよ。サーバントを律する3回きりの命令権でしょ。それが何よ。
いいかね。霊樹はサーバントを強制的に行動させるものだ。それは行動を止めるだけでなく、行動を強化させるという意味でもある。
Another good thing to keep in mind.
例えば私はここから遠くの場所まで瞬間的には移動できない。だが0時で行けと命じれば、それが私と君の魔力で届くことならば可能となる。強制命令権とはそういうことだ。サーバント自身でも制御できない肉体の限界さえ突破させる大魔術の結晶が3つの霊樹なのだ。
知ってるわよ、そんなこと。いいじゃない、まだ2つあるんだし。あなたに命じた規則は無駄じゃないんだし。
確かにこれは私の誤算だった。霊樹というものは曖昧な命令には効きが弱くなる。私を守り通せ、この戦いに勝てなどといった広く長く効果が続くものには霊樹の力が弱くなる。効き目は長く続く。逆に次の一撃を死ぬ気で放て、あのグラスだけは壊すなといった単一の命令は絶対で、よほど強力なサーバントでも逆らうのは難しくなる。さて、ここまでで私が言いたいことがわかるな、マスター。
わかるわよ。要するに広く長い命令は意味がないんでしょ。効果も戒めも薄いならサーバントは霊樹に逆らって行動できる。そんな効き目の薄い命令をするなら絶対的な単一の命令をした方がいい。
そうだ。霊樹とはもともと自分たちの能力以上の奇跡を起こすためのもの。それを代用の効く命令などで消費する具は許されない。君の先ほどの霊樹はまさにそれだ。私が君に従うかは話し合いで解決できたことだし、仮に霊樹を使ったところで全ての言動に絶対服従など霊樹が100あっても実現できない。
じゃあ私のさっきの霊樹は無意味ってこと？
通常ならそうなのだがな。どうも君の魔術師としての性能は桁が違ったらしい。
That's another thing people need to remember. The quality of the mage and the quality of the action done by said mage also affects command seals, which is crazy to know. It's another reason why a certain mage in this game is terrifying beyond belief. Is he shocked or happy? My servant's lips twitch upward even as he sighs.
桁が違ったって、もしかしてちょっとあなた、自分が今どんな状態なのか正直に話してみなさい。
The implication dawns on me as I ask him eagerly.
ああ、誤算というのはそれだ。先ほどの命令では少しはマスターの意見を尊重しようという程度の心変わりにしかならない。だが今の私は君の言葉に強い強制を感じている。君の意見に異を唱えると、そうだな、ランクが一つばかり落ちるようだ。つまりマスターの意向に逆らうと体が重くなって動きづらいというところか。
My servant shrugs in resignation. So he's saying that my command spell wasn't a waste, but an actual benefit? He's still being as sarcastic as ever, so it doesn't seem like it had any effect. Besides, even if he's weakened, I doubt even 10 of me could resist if he decided to rebel against me.
前言を撤回しよう、マスター。年齢は若いが、君は卓越した魔術師だ。子供と侮り、戦いから遠ざけようとしたのは私の過ちだった。無礼ともども謝ろう。
The servant straightens his posture and gives me a formal bow.
やめてよ。確かにいろいろ言い合ったけど、そんなの喧嘩両成敗っていうか。
そうか。いや、話のわかるマスターで助かった。
なんか切り返し早いわね、あんた。
何？誤算は誤算だったが、嬉しい誤算というやつだったからな。これ。
Is this his roundabout way of saying that I'm a strong
じ
master?
ゃあ、霊樹抜きで私がマスターだって認めるのね。
無論だ。 先ほどは召喚されたばかりで馴染んでいなかったが、今では完全につながった。
契約？
Now that he mentions it, something does feel weird about my body. It's as if my closed off nerves are now connected to the outside. Specifically, I can feel a portion of my magic energy flowing to the man before me.
そっか。サーバントは聖杯に呼ばれるけど、呼ばれたサーバントをこの世に留めるのは。
そう、マスターの力だ。サーバントはマスターからの魔力提供によってこの世にとどまる。魔力提供量は十分だ。経験的に問題はありそうだが、君の能力は飛び抜けている。普通の魔術師ならばサーバントを召喚した瞬間に意識を失っているだろう。先ほどの霊樹といい、この魔力量といい、マスターとして君は間違いなく一流だ。
Yay!
今更褒めたって何も出ないけど。
Hold on, I didn't get the room earlier. We're gonna steal it. Here we go, boys. Steal! Steal move. We did it. Well, I didn't see this coming. I know the command spell is making him obey me, but still, this superhuman servant is sincerely acknowledging me as its master.
で、あなた何のサーバント？
Good question. Very good question. Good question. Who the hell are you? I clear my head and return to business.
見てわからないか？ああ、それは結構。
I take it all back. He's definitely making fun of me.
わかったわ。これはマスターとしての質問よ。ねえ、あなたセイバーじゃないの？
残念ながら剣は持っていない。
Fucking liar. You fucking liar. What the fuck does... What do you mean? I suspected as much. When all said and done, I got my time wrong, my summoning circle didn't do its job, and my servant was spat out into some random room. I was far too sloppy of a ritual to summon the strongest servant, Saber.
ドジったわ。あれだけ宝石を使っておいてセイバーじゃないなんて目も当てられない。
悪かったな、セイバーでなくて。
え？ああ、うん。そりゃ通行のミスだから残念だけど、悪いのは私なんだから。
Glad he didn't summon into a wall or something? Oh yeah. Help, master. I'm stuck in a wall. Ah. Help me, stepmaster.
なあ、どうせアーチャーでは派手さに欠けるだろうよ。いいだろう。後で今の暴言を悔やませてやる。その時になって謝っても聞かないからな。
はい？
Acha. What a surprise. The unidentified servant seems to be sulking. Maybe my fixation on Saber offended him?
何？勘に触った？あーちゃん。
触った。見ていろ。必ず自分が幸運だったと思い知らせてやる。
Archie retorts with a sidelong glance. He has a really spiteful air about him, but that reaction felt somehow childish and free of malice. You know, he might be a pretty decent guy.
そうね。それじゃあ必ず私を後悔させて、あーちゃん。そうなったら素直に謝らせてもらうから。
ああ、忘れるなよ、マスター。己が召喚したものがどれほどのものか知って感謝すればいい。もっとも、その時になって謝られてもこちらの気は晴れんだろうがな。
Okay, hear me out. Al Capone as an archer, just a bunch of grunts and Tommy guns appear. Ah, maybe. Feel like he'd be like one of like the other containers though. Maybe something else. Maybe a ruler because he rules over. I don't know. Archer huffs, even his lips twist into a grin. Oh yeah, this one's rotten. Got a rotten personality, all right.
まあいいわ。それであんたどこの英霊なのよ？
Archer doesn't answer. His sardonic expression is replaced by a deepening frown.
アーチャー、マスターである私がサーバントであるあなたに聞いているんだけど。
それは秘密だ。
Very true, Lynn.
は？
私がどのようなものだったかは答えられない。
あのね、つまんない理由だったら怒るわよ。
それは
There's that face again. Archer opens and closes his mouth as if he's having trouble voicing an uncomfortable truth.
なぜかというと、自分でもわからない。
Wait, what?
はあ？何よそれ。あんた私のことバカにしてるわけ？
マスターを侮辱するつもりはない。ただ、これは君の不完全な召喚のツケだぞ。どうも、記憶に混乱が見られる。自分が何者であるかわかるのだが、名前や素性がどうも曖昧だ。
気にすることはない。気にするわよそんなの。あんたがどんな英霊か知らなきゃどのくらい強いのかわからないじゃない。
なんだ、そんなことは問題ではなかろう。さまつな問題だよ、それは。
さまつってあんたね、相棒の強さがわからないんじゃ作戦の立てようがないでしょ。そんなんで戦っていけるわけないじゃない。
何を言う。私は君が呼び出したサーバントだ。それが最強でないはずがない。
He's so straightforward. Crimson Knight fixes me with a gaze full of confidence and trust. My brain grinds to a halt. There's no deception in Archer's words. He's sincerely giving me more credit than I deserve, even though we've just met. My cheeks are burning. I'm sure I'm blushing bright red right now. Surprise attacks like this tend to be my weakness.
まあいいか。誰にも正体がわからないってことには変わりはないんだし、敵を騙すにはまず味方からって言うし。
I turn away from Archer to hide my embarrassment. I'm sure I'll figure out in due time what sort of servant he is anyway. For now, we have other priorities.
わかった。しばらくあなたの正体に関しては不問にしましょう。それじゃああーちゃん、最初の仕事だけど。
早速か。好戦的だな、君は。それで敵は？
Before I can say enemy, I toss a broom and dustpan at him.
下の掃除お願い。あんたが散らかしたんだから責任持ってきれいにしといてね。
A few seconds pass in stunned silence. When Archer finally regains his senses, he grips the broom indignantly.
待て。君はサーバントを何だと思っている？
使い魔でしょ。ちょっと生意気で扱いに困るけど。
Archer cuts himself off. I have no intention of letting him off, and he tries to weasel out of it. I still have a card to play.
意義あり。そのような命令は
いいの？これマスターとしての命令よ。マスターの方針に逆らったら体が重くなるんだっけ？まあ、あなたはその程度じゃどうってことないだろうけど、そのペナルティは今を掃除するまで続くのよ。そんな状態で明日から戦っていくのは危ないんじゃない？
He stands there for several more seconds with a broom in hand, grumbling under his breath. And so the archer in red mantle closes his eyes.
了解した。地獄に落ちる。
Understood. Go to hell. And gracefully accepts my order. Now then, it's getting late, so I should rest. I can decide how to deal with him once I wake up. A fateful day draws to a close. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that right now. I don't know if I'm ever gonna use this for anything, but it could be a thumbnail or something. I don't fucking know. We'll see. We'll figure it out. Be help for a thumbnail. Could be something. Who knows? Who knows? No, rather, my fate was shaped by this night. That makes 6, including me. Once the 7th and final master summons their servant, the Holy Grail War of this generation will begin. The not-so-distant future. The battle I've been waiting 10 long years for is about to commence. February 1st. I think I'm going to stop recording right here. And then we'll continue going further in just a moment. Cause I wanna. There's nothing anyone can do to stop me. Very fun. Very fun to revisit. We'll be going on for a little bit longer, so I'll put another one of these up relatively soon. Yeah. Recording stopped. What?